So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you some towers that have some pretty weird beacon setups and cursed, well, they're pretty cursed beacon setups. And yeah, I do have to be honest, they're really cool as well. I also have to make a video of the inside of the Family Center at Rolla before they permanently close. Because Netflix probably killed this company as well, like they did to Blockbuster. So yeah, I was really surprised of how long this actual store lasted. Really, it looks like it's sadly going. So yeah, I gotta make a video there before it truly closes. So let's get into the towers. So here's the first one. This is one of the first very cursed beacon setups I've ever seen. And there's also two other towers I know of that have this weird beacon setup. So so basically this is your this is not an average not an average red and white tower, but this is not what an average red and white tower looks like, but it's still pretty cool. So it's red and white. It's half cell tower, half microwave tower, and it also has some antennas on it. But if you can see the two beacons, you can see one old school incandescent, but you're also able to see what looks like, I believe, to be 3000B, unless that's actually a single strobe. I'm not very sure, but if it is, then that means that this is very cursed because of how there's a tower with both a dual strobe and incandescent beacon. Yeah, it's weird, but to be honest, I really don't know if that's actually a 300 mil. I mean, a 3000B. Because if it's not, then that means that that's a single strobe. So it means that the incandescent still works and stuff. To be honest, I really do hope that it is a single strobe, because that means that both the strobe and incandescent would work. And if this thing has two sets of side markers, this tower would look cool at night. So yeah, when I first seen this, I thought it just had a single strobe and incandescent on it, but when I started to take a look, when I started to look a little closer, you could see what it looks like a little bit of red on the strobe. That's undoubtable. That must be some 3000B, really. I don't know if it is or not, but if it is, that means that the incandescent beacon is dead. So remember how I told you that there's only 3 towers I know of that has this weird dual strobe and incandescent beacon setup? Well, I'm going to show you the other two, and you guys should know what the second one is. And out of all 3 towers, there's only one tower that I've never seen in person. Well, only 2 towers I've never seen in person before. But this one here, as you can see, with the I don't know, the microwaves. You can see the smaller tower with the microwave dishes. I grew up with that tower thinking that it just had a dual strobe and nothing else. So look what I got. Oh, okay. So yeah, there's that. But for some reason, I'm far away from it. At least farther away from it. But let's try to get closer. I'm stuck in the old street view, but there's another view of the 2 towers. Guys, I think I just noticed something I never really noticed before. Oh, that's not a tower? Well, I could have sworn I seen some tower in this old street view in the same area. What is that? What is that? I think I just discovered a dead tower. That can't be. Or maybe it's just that pole. That power line pole thing. I don't know what they're called. That may be that, but I don't know. Okay, so instead of this one having a a 3000B and old school incandescent. This here has a flash technology dual strobe and a modern incandescent beacon below it. And telling by how the incandescent beacon has not been removed and how it's below the top, and there's 2 platforms for beacons on the tower. I believe that this tower may have used to have a different beacon setup. This probably used to have some KG225 beacon or some old school single strobe for day mode on the very top of the tower, the top platform where a dual strobe is on, and then the modern incandescent beacon that most likely replaced the old school incandescent beacon. Probably was meant for night mode, and it's on since there's 2 platforms and the incandescent beacon is on the bottom platform. I can only guess that it's that it used to have those beacons. Well, I can only guess I used to have that beacon set up, because I don't know why. If an incandescent beacon if that was the original beacon, or just the second beacon, if it replaced an old school version of an old school incandescent, but why would they not place it on the top? And why is there 2 platforms? You can see them where the beacons are. This must have had a single strobe, and it must have a single strobe for day mode once in its life. So yeah, we already know that this tower is going to be an accomplishment tower one day, sadly. And this tower was never an accomplishment tower. Will never be an accomplishment tower, even if it has LEDs and there's an owl. Well, even if it has LEDs now, back then it used to have one incandescent beacon. It was an old school incandescent beacon for probably all its life, with 2 sets of markers, I believe. Well, I don't know. I don't remember seeing 2 sets of side markers. I think I only remember seeing 1. But that's what it had for most of its life until I'm pretty sure it may have been 2012, where 2 FH309s were added to the middle of the tower, so all 3 of them would flash and it will have more beacons, and then it gained 2 sets of side markers if it didn't have any. There's a platform on the tower. I don't know what that's for. So yeah, and then for some reason the beacons were replaced with these stupid crappy LEDs, and they're white and red LEDs that replaced red only beacons. Yeah, this tower kind of had like a rocky history with beacons. Like the FH309s on the tower did not last. They probably only lasted like 1 year, or probably only a few months, because if so, that means that they were placed on a tower somewhere in the middle or somewhere around the end of 2012, and they were replaced with these LEDs somewhere in early 2013, something like that, maybe. I'm not sure, but yeah. And the LEDs, the bottom LEDs at least, you can see that's not what their original spot. Their original spot was they were a few inches lower on the tower, and they were not facing the way they're not facing the way that they are now. They're facing a different way. I think they were facing away from me. And then for some reason they were moved up and placed like this. I don't know. They're picky with the beacon placement on here. And sadly, this has no side markers. This tower does. You can clearly see them. But the last time I ever seen it on night mode, they didn't work. And I forgot to tell you this, but the incandescent beacon is long gone. It's shut off. Man, I don't know what I'm doing. You guys should already know this. You already know that the beacon is shut off. Let's get a different view. Okay, never mind. I don't like how I never noticed this earlier when I was younger. Because before, when I found out that it had an incandescent beacon below it that's just dead and just sitting there, I found that out. I don't remember. I think it was after. I know it was after. It was after. It was after that Springfield trip where I found out that the second Walmart tower got its FH306 replaced with a modern LED. So it must have been after that, probably like somewhere around the end of September or never mind. I think it was around the beginning or middle of October. I remember my reaction to the beacon, it was something. Alright, so the reason why I had to get a perfect view of this is because this beacon, this tower has the best beacon in the entire world. As you can see, that must be a bird. Here, let's investigate it. Wait, no, that can't be. No. That can't be. No, that must be some birds that's just hanging out down there. Is that an incandescent beacon below the strobe light? There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. I never known this about the tower. I always known that this tower has a dual strobe light from Flash Technology. And the video was made October 17. So I got to find out the date while searching for that video. What do I mean? That's in a playlist. So do you just hate it when hair gets on your fingers, especially your thumb? It's bullcrap. So that's the second tower that I know of that has this. It's the second one that I discovered, and the only one that I've ever seen in person. I grew up with this tower. I used to go down to Springfield to doctor's appointments, and down there, my mom and dad would go down there, while my sister would always had to miss out because of school. You know, I always got to skip school those days because appointments, having to drive to we had to drive from Rolla to Springfield, which is about an hour and a half. So yeah, it's a long drive. It was very memorable. I remember just going down there at the hospital, and I'm always just like, Mom, when will this end? I want to eat at CC's. And my mom would just be like, don't worry, it's going to end soon, don't worry, it's just he'll need to check your knees, and he'll need to check your reflex, and then I have to talk about your medicine. So yeah, that's basically what usually went on down there. And waiting for them to go to CC's to eat their pizza down there it felt like years. There's even one time where I was pretending that there's a dollhouse at the same hospital, and I was playing with a dollhouse, and I was pretending that the Barbie dolls were customers, and the dollhouse was the Barbie dollhouse was CC's, and I was just bored then. I didn't have anything else to do, but for some reason I did that, even if it was just even if it made it even worse. Like if I was imagining food or just had was playing with food toy things that looked like food, and I would instantly crave those things because I don't usually get CC's pizza that much. And I actually got good news about the place. They're not going to go out of business. They were sold to D and whatever company, I don't know. I only seen their company name once, but they are sold to another company. Hopefully they change nothing. Hopefully they don't change the pizza or the way anything goes. That would be a giant nightmare. Here is the last tower that I know of that has a dual strobe and incandescent beacon. And just like the first one, it has an old school incandescent beacon, but the only change it has, it clearly has a flash technology dual strobe on it. You can see it, and you're also able to see the incandescent beacon below it. Yeah, you're still able to see both the beacons very clearly, even if the quality is pure crap. I don't know why it's pure crap. Would be nice if it was high quality, but you can see the dual strobe above the incandescent, and knowing that the incandescent is actually below the strobe, that means that's the original beacon. And since it's old school, and these towers were built in the 50s, and were built in the 50s, probably earlier than that as well. And yeah. And they're also built in the 80s. I do know one Longines tower that was built in the 80s to replace another tower that was damaged. That stood right next. Well, that used to stand in its place, but it was destroyed in 1987. I think. I don't know. I think that's when the tower was built, and the old tower was taken down and damaged and taken down. You know. So yeah, so this is a very, very rare thing to see with a Longines tower, an incandescent beacon, along with a dual strobe and not a single strobe. How rare is that? Usually Longines towers have single strobes. I don't know why AT&T wants single strobes on these towers, but I thank them because of how rare they are. And now that we know that there's one dedicated tower race that has where currently the main beacon in this tower race thing is the white only single strobe. So some of them have FH08s or 10s. I think those are the same. I think those are actually the same beacons. Some of them will have KG225s. Some of them probably used to have FH01s, which is a classic strobe, just like the KG225. And yeah, they would just have there's another Longines tower that I know of that has a TWR single strobe. It looks nothing like what you see here. Basically, well, the top was extended. You see that middle piece in the middle of the horns and stuff? Well, basically the top of the tower had something like that, but taller and wider. And it had one of these little pole things, you know, when you look at a Longines tower and you see the beacon, usually it's standing on a pole with like 3 rings around it, 3 rings sticking out of it. I don't know why, but that's usually that's usually what they are, what they look like. Well, this time, this tower, for some reason, whoever placed the beacon on the tower didn't even care to place the beacon on the 3-ring platform thing. That, well, you know what you see right now. That's the platform that usually beacons on Longline towers usually have. What usually look like. Basically, they're a giant pole rod little tower thing with usually 3 rings sticking out of it, and the beacon or beacons in this case would sit on top of it. So yeah, just like this tower here, and basically 90% or 98% of Longline towers, even if they have beacons that no longer work because FAA shut all that crap down when they made the 200 feet crap, they still remain, and they still remain on the platforms. So yeah, there's that. That's what I was trying to talk about, but I didn't really know how to describe it. Now it's time to spend some time trying to find that one random dead tower that I found earlier. I don't know if this is not the right street view. Now, guys, maybe this may be it. Okay, never mind. This is not it. There is no old Street View. Guys, I found it. I found it. I could tell by that Street View there, and the random person just walking on the street. And since there's another neighborhood here, that means I made it. So just keep on watching. You can see that. You can see that. You can clearly see it. And then when I try to go to the old Street View, you can see the mysterious dead tower. Bam, there it is. I don't know what that is, but I can probably make a separate video of it. You know, I need to take a screenshot of the street name so I can find this. Well, I don't have to try to find it over and over again. Okay, so this next tower is a famous tower in the Big LT channel, because I actually got to film this one, and I also got to film 2 of these towers in this video here. You already seen those videos, I'm pretty sure. So basically, here's a cursed beacon setup of this tower. So you can see, if you don't remember, there's markers there. I think those are where the markers are. Well, whatever. There are markers there. Those are cell antennas, and you can see more antennas. And I'm not the right view for this. All right, so you can see the markers there. The tower was cut in half a few times. You can see one of the incandescent beacons on there. And for the people who don't know what this tower is, you guys would probably think that it just has 2 sets of beacons. Well, guess what? It doesn't. You can see it has 2 incandescent it technically does have 2 sets of beacons, really, but they're really close to each other, and the top one is steady, and the bottom one flashes. I even recorded it. It was very nice. Even when we were driving up to it to try to, when we were on our way to the radio station that owns this tower, I just look out my parents' car window. I was like, "That's it! I can see it! It still works! They work!" Well, I already know they work because this street view here that you're clearly able to see here, the beacons were flashing at this time. You can see a little bit of a red glow on the top beacon, which it looks like it was flashing at this time, so it doesn't look like it was always steady. So it may have been steady that one night, and I just randomly decided to film it I had to film it that day, that night, because if not, then I would have never been able to film at night. I never filmed that day, even though I wish I was able to. But, you know, all the houses in this area look the exact same, and they all look trashy. And my dad was just like, "Oh, hey, you guys, you know what this means. If there's all these houses that look the same, they all look trashy, especially the area as well, you know this is the ghetto." But it's not really the ghetto, but it's something. So you can see one of the beacons lighting up. The bottom beacon, you can still see the top beacon flashing. And the bottom beacon, it's not flashing. Not flashing yet. Still not flashing. Okay. Pretty sure the street view here you're able to see it flash. Okay, here. I don't have time for this. I had to charge my phone. Alright, so I just realized my phone's not actually charging. Okay, it looks like the charger's not completely plugged in to the wall, so I had to fix that. So I'm just not going to waste my time with this. This video's already 24 minutes long, so let's just get on with it. So if you're all wondering why it has this weird cursed beacon setup, let me take you to some older street view, somewhere around this neighborhood. Ah yes, here's some older street view. And let's go to the area where I actually filmed this, which was actually this parking lot. And I stood out here and filmed the tower. And that's the reason why it has this weird beacon set up. I think I just seen something. Okay, never mind. I thought I just seen a lady walking her dog. I was just like, I need to see the Poochie. And that's just a guy. So yeah, this tower used to be taller. You can see one set of you can see that one set of markers. See the old school incandescent beacon there. More antennas. And you can see the top beacon, which kind of looks red. I wonder what beacon that is. I wonder if it's a... Well, I know it's an incandescent, but if it looked red, then it kind of then that means that's old. Modern. But now it looks white. So yeah, there's that. I don't know why this tower was cut down by length. Well, by height. Yeah, it was cut down in height for some reason, and they're only using half the tower now. Because the tower is only half of what it used to be now. And for some reason, instead of using the bottom beacon or removing the bottom beacon from, well, the middle beacon, the second beacon, instead of using the second beacon that you're able to see there, for the top of the tower, for the new top of the tower, they decide to use the top beacon for the actual top, but they left the other beacon on, and it works better than the other one because of how it actually flashes, and the other one is steady for some reason. So yeah, when I first seen this, I remember I was at biology class in high school first semester this year, and I was chilling on my phone, and I randomly found this while everybody was talking to each other and stuff in the class. I think class was starting to end. Like, we only had a few more minutes, so we had a little bit of free time. So I just got on my phone to look at towers, and I found this tower on Street View, and when I first seen the two beacons, I was just like, all right, that's just some little picture glitch. That's just a little glitch, a Google Maps glitch, because like every single tower that you ever seen on Google Maps, at least once they would look like they've been cut in half because of the cameras. Well, guess what? And I moved further away from it, thinking that the glitch disappeared, but guess what? It was still there. And you know why? Because it's actually real. Those were two beacons, two separate beacons. They were both real. I don't know why I keep on saying that. You can really see one of the markers. So there's that. It's very, very cool to see this, and I never thought I would actually be able to film this. I did show my dad the location and all that. I was just like, Dad, when we go back to Springfield, I want to film this tower at night. And, well, I never said day, but I think filming it at night would have been better than filming it at day. So I was just like, Dad, we need to film this the next time we go down there at night. Well, the next time we go down to Springfield at night. So that's what we did. And it was this area was very ghetto-y. It was. That's what my dad kept on saying. So yeah, there's that. Now then, there's only 2 more towers I know of that are left on this list. Alright guys, scratch what I said earlier about 2 more. I actually found a screenshot of another tower with a cursed beacon set up. So there's only 3 more. So you can see the wider tower is the second. It is the second Nashville Candelabra Tower, the one that only shines white, not the one that shines red. And if you didn't know already, there's a smaller, skinnier tower that's next to it. Even if the top, it's not as tall as it, it's much smaller than the Candelabra, obviously. So even if the top has been cropped off, there is no set of beacons on the very top. the first set of beacons. Oh, wait a second. I just realized you're not able to see the first set of beacons. I cropped it too much to show the cursed part of this tower, but basically I don't feel like digging this I don't feel like trying to find this video and all that and having to deal with all that. So I'm just going to tell you right now, there are a set of box strobes on the not on the top of the tower, just somewhere below the top for some reason. Not the very top, just below. I don't know why, but that's what it has. Then if you keep on going down, the second set of beacons are more box strobes. And box strobes, they usually come in 3. So yeah, this tower has 6 box strobes. So there's that. There's a second set of beacons, and let's just go a little lower. You're actually able to see the box strobes of the second Nashville candelabra. I don't think that has a beacon. I see the video of these at night, and I don't recall ever seeing anything flashing with that tower. I don't remember. So I just keep on going down and down, 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 down. Selling us. Down, down, down. And ooh, look what I found. Can it be a cone strobe and a modern incandescent beacon? Yeah, boys. Can't you believe it? This has box strobes, a cone strobe, and modern incandescent. That's something to see. That's very, very cool. So yeah, you can see the cone strobe there, and you can see the modern incandescent below it. Sadly, I got sad news. Well, Sadly, none of the beacons on this smaller tower work. I don't know why. They're just shut off. Probably because they don't match up with this tower here. I don't know why they would do that anyways, but yeah, they don't work. I don't know why they would add 2 sets of box strobes and then add a cone strobe and incandescent beacon right below, just literally right below the. Here, hold on. I had an itchy eyeball there, but I don't know why they would place a cone strobe and an incandescent beacon just a few inches of a few feet away from the second set of box strobes. You can see how they're farther away from each other. You can see, and the first set of box strobes are really high up. So yeah, this is a very cool thing. And when I first seen this video with these towers, I thought I only had like I thought those were box strobes because of the white the cone strobe. It gave off the appearance of a box strobe, even if there were like 2 missing on the other legs. I didn't really pay too much attention to it until one day I rewatched the video because I wanted to see my 2 favorite candelabras in the entire world, and then I seen a little bit of red, and I was just like, wait, hold up. And then I zoom in a little. Well, I take a screenshot and then zoom into it and realize I made a giant discovery: a cone strobe, which is very rare, and an incandescent beacon, which is not as rare, but still they're going to get rare here soon when this modern LED takeover really gets going. Well, it already is, but when it lasts a few more years. And I say that because there's probably going to be another LED that will come out of Flash Technologies. And it'll be even worse than the modern LEDs, and we'll forever have flashing side markers. Which I don't want that to happen. So yeah. So there's that. Now then, let's move on to the final 2. Alright, so here's the final one, and sadly this no longer has this weird beacon setup because it's been removed, because one of the beacons were removed. So it was a Google Meet call with Wise Aiden. We were talking about towers. He was showing towers. I was showing towers. And then he showed me this tower here, which had something very interesting. It's a red and white tower, as you can see. Well, it used to be red and white. You'll see later. I just spoiled it. I'm stupid. So you can see antennas and stuff, and it may not be very clear, but it is very tall, and you know what that means. That means that it's an incandescent beacon, and even Wise Aiden told me that it's an incandescent beacon. Well, that was back in the past, and it's in Columbus, Ohio on I-70. But now let's look at it again. Now look, it's gray. So keep on going up and up and up and up. You see the antennas, and you can't those microwave antennas were, well, those microwave dishes were removed. And guess what? The incandescent beacon's still on there, but there's a little addition. There's a little addition to the tower that's right next to the old beacon. Here's the bad news. This is not all great. That's that incandescent beacon has been shut off, and that LED is a white and red LED. I remember. I'm pretty sure it was old school as well. I don't really remember. I think it is. I think that's what Wise Aiden told me. So yeah, there's that. So here's a very sad news now. Wise Aiden recently went to Columbus, and he got to see this tower, and he told me that they removed the incandescent beacon, so it no longer has this weird beacon setup. So yeah, there's that. It's sad. They just randomly removed it, he said. They even removed the microwave dishes, which made the tower look cool. So yeah. So yeah, there's that. There's that. Now let's go to the final one, and the very, very interesting one. Ooh, look, you can see the tower. Okay, so this tower here is what I like to call the ×2 tower. You'll see why it has this nickname. At least me. So you can see up on top of the tower, you can see an incandescent beacon. I'm pretty sure there's a second one next to it as well. So there's 2 incandescent beacons up there, some cell antennas and normal antennas and stuff. Where's the markers? I don't see where the markers are, but I believe that there's here. Let's just reveal what's wrong with this, or what's cursed about this. Look at that, me homies. Do you see that? You're not seeing double. Well, you are seeing double. It's in your eyesight's not playing tricks on you. Those are 2 sets of incandescent beacons, and modern as well. So 2 sets of modern incandescent beacons, and well, yeah, and they're right next to each other as well. That is very, very cursed and very, very epic. I don't know why this happened. I don't even know if they worked when the tower had them, because I also got sad news about this as well. But I don't know if both pairs worked when the tower had these incandescent beacons. But gee, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 beacons on a small tower. It's not because it's tall. It's not because it has. It's because it has 3 sets of beacons, but 2 of them are placed right next to each other. I really wonder what's happening with my throat today. It's just I keep on clearing it. It's just bull crap. So yeah, let's here's something else interesting. You can see that you're seeing double again. That's not 1 set of markers. Those are 2. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, there's double of both there's double both the incandescent beacons and one of the markers. That I really the thing that will make this tower complete is if this tower. I really hope it has two incandescent beacons on top of the tower with two sets of markers right next to each other, kind of like what you see here. If so, then that means this tower is complete in its name. That's the reason why I call it the ×2 tower. So yeah, the ×2 tower. So yeah, basically it has two sets of beacons ×2, two sets of markers ×2. Well, guess what? Here's the sad news that you guys been waiting for. Well, you guys been dreading. You see that? You don't see those two sets of markers anymore. There's only one. You can see? Well, let's investigate. Yes, I see. I see incandescent. I see LEDs. Yep, those are two LEDs, and they replace one of the coolest beacon setups ever, and they also blurred the tower. Just, it's bullcrap. Why are you blurring towers and just... what's the deal with Google Maps and randomly blurring crap out? Like, why? Why, though? Why? So, I really hope these are night mode only LEDs, but knowing that there's a much more towers I know of that used to have incandescent beacons that were replaced with white and red LEDs, this probably met the same fate. This probably has white and red white and red LEDs, and they're probably crappy because of how flat they look. It's a sad reality. LEDs are taking over. LEDs are the future. I wish we could do something about the future, but the future's just like Baba Boy, and they do this crap here. So yeah, the two sets of markers have been replaced with one, and I don't know if there's two sets of markers around this part here, but if there was, then that means that one set of markers replaced it. Very, very sad. It is. I hate it. I was just like, holy crap, that's epic. When that was my reaction when I first seen this tower. That's and why is Aiden broke the news that it has LEDs. I was just like, holy crap, that's non-epic. So yeah, I was not happy about what they did to this. Like, I just found out about this tower's existence and its very, very cool beacon setup, and just to find out that it now has LEDs. Just take a moment. Just think about all the towers that you guys used to know with their very iconic beacons and beacon setups that now have crappy or modern LEDs and sometimes old school LEDs. Yep, this one sadly met the same fate as those. I don't know what I was doing. Every time I see pylon towers, I just usually check to see if they have beacons, even though those are very, very short. Very, very small, so I don't know why they would. So yeah, there is the final tower with one of the most interesting beacon setups I've ever seen. So yeah, I think that may be another tower. Oh hey, look, I found another tower. And telling by how small the beacon looks on that antenna, if that is a beacon, it's probably an LED as well. I'll see you guys later. I gotta go to Discord. Discord is calling me. So bye.